The buzz about Barcelona, have you noticed it too? Your Instagram feed flooded with mosaic-tiled balconies, golden beach sunsets, and digital nomads sipping cortados in sunlit cafes? Barcelona isn't just trending, it's captivating the world, one reel at a time. So, why are Americans and Brits suddenly obsessed with this Catalonian gem? It's more than just postcard-perfect views. Barcelona is a feeling, a rhythm. It's the sound of flamenco echoing through Gothic alleys, the aroma of garlic prawns sizzling in olive oil, the sight of Gaudí's dreamlike creations rising from stone. It's a city where art and life blend so seamlessly you can't tell where one ends and the other begins. For many, it's a temporary escape. For others, it's a second home. In fact, Barcelona is now on nearly every top 10 places to move list for digital nomads and remote workers from the US and UK. With its laid-back Mediterranean lifestyle, affordable indulgence, and irresistible creative energy, it's no wonder people are asking, what if I never left? In this full travel documentary, we'll take you through the architectural wonders that shaped the city's identity, the food culture that makes every meal feel like a celebration, and the deep-rooted traditions that make Barcelona more than just a destination, but a story waiting to be lived. You'll discover where to eat, what to see, how much it really costs to stay, and even what life looks like if you decide to move here. From hidden rooftops to sun-kissed beaches, from bustling food markets to serene hilltop views, you're about to see Barcelona like never before. So grab your virtual passport. This is your free ticket around the world. All it takes is a like, a subscribe, and one small comment telling us, where should we take you next? Let's begin our journey into the wonders of Barcelona. Let's begin by placing Barcelona on the map, not just geographically, but strategically, historically, and culturally. Nestled on the northeastern coast of the Iberian Peninsula, Barcelona sits along the serene shores of the Mediterranean Sea. It's the capital of Catalonia, one of Spain's most culturally distinct regions, and lies just about 90 miles south of the French border. From here, you're only a short flight or train ride away from Paris, Rome, London, and Morocco, making Barcelona a true gateway between Western Europe, Southern Europe, and North Africa. But it's not just a dot on the map, it's a crossroads of civilizations. For centuries, Barcelona's location has made it a magnet for trade, migration, and influence. The city's port is one of the busiest in Europe, connecting cargo, cruise ships, and cultures from around the globe. Its strategic position on ancient sea routes made it vital to the Roman Empire, and later, a hub of power during the maritime expansion of the Crown of Aragon. Today, this seaside city continues to hold its ground as a cultural and economic powerhouse in southern Europe. Barcelona is where tradition meets modernity, and where Gothic cathedrals coexist with tech startups. And nature? It's been generous here. To the east, the city kisses the Mediterranean Sea, a ribbon of golden beaches and breezy promenades. To the northwest rise the Collserola Hills, crowned by the summit of Tibidabo. Drive a little further and you'll find yourself in the dramatic Montserrat mountain range, a sacred and scenic escape just an hour from the urban buzz. Barcelona's geography also gifts it a nearly perfect climate. With over 300 sunny days a year, winters that feel like autumn in the UK, and summers that drift into late-night beach strolls, it's easy to see why this city consistently ranks among the most livable in the world. And here's the kicker, despite being a major European capital, the entire city is walkable. From the old Roman walls to modernist masterpieces, from the bustling harbor to the bohemian Gracia neighborhood, everything is tightly woven into a coastal grid that invites exploration. So whether you're sailing the Mediterranean, hiking hillside parks, or sipping sangria by the sea, Barcelona's geography isn't just beautiful. It's purposeful. Coming up next, we'll uncover how this scenic setting gave rise to a city with one of Europe's richest and most rebellious histories. But wait till you hear how Gaudí, a monk-like architect, forever changed its destiny. To understand Barcelona is to walk through time. This city doesn't just preserve history, it lives and breathes it. Our story begins over 2,000 years ago, when the Romans founded a small settlement they called Barcino. It was modest, walled, and strategically placed near the sea, but even then, it had a magnetic pull. Parts of this ancient Roman city still lie beneath today's Gothic quarter, where tourists unknowingly stroll atop centuries-old foundations. As the Roman Empire faded, the city grew in cultural and religious significance, evolving through Visigothic, Muslim, and Christian rule. By the Middle Ages, Barcelona was flourishing. It became a maritime force and the capital of the Crown of Aragon, a Mediterranean empire that rivaled Venice and Genoa. Walk into any Gothic cathedral or civic palace today and you can feel the ambition of that golden era etched in every stone. But Barcelona is not just a city of empires. It's a city of identity. And that identity is distinctly Catalan. The rise of Catalan nationalism isn't just politics, it's rooted in language, literature, architecture, and pride. As Spain centralized power in Madrid over the centuries, Catalonia pushed back, often through its art, music, and cultural resilience. That tension reached a boiling point in the 20th century. During the Spanish Civil War in the 1930s, Barcelona became a Republican stronghold, a city that stood for democratic ideals against the rise of Franco's fascist regime. But the cost was brutal. The city endured bombings, political purges, and decades of cultural repression under Franco's dictatorship. Speaking Catalan was banned. Traditions were silenced. But the spirit of the city? Never broken. And when democracy returned to Spain in the late 1970s, Barcelona rose again, this time in spectacular style. In the 1992 Olympic Games, the city reintroduced itself to the world. Abandoned industrial zones became modern waterfronts. Public spaces bloomed. Art and architecture took center stage. The heart of this visual rebirth was one man, Antoni Gaudí. Though he lived in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, Gaudí's influence on modern Barcelona is timeless. His masterpiece, La Sagrada Familia, is still under construction more than a century later, and yet it's already the most iconic symbol of the city. Gaudí wasn't alone. He was part of the modernism movement, Catalonia's answer to Art Nouveau. Think swirling facades, mosaic tiles, and nature-inspired forms that feel more like dreams than buildings. Park Güell, Casa Batlló, and Casa Mila aren't just structures, they're expressions of a culture breaking free. Barcelona's history isn't neat or simple. It's layered, defiant, and deeply alive. So the next time you gaze at a Gothic spire or a curving Gaudí roof, remember, you're not just looking at beauty, you're looking at a story of survival, reinvention, and unshakable identity. Next up, let's explore what makes this identity so unique in the daily rhythms, traditions, and lifestyle of Barcelona's people. If cities had personalities, Barcelona would be that effortlessly cool friend who knows how to enjoy life, never in a rush, always in the moment. From the moment you step onto its sun-dappled streets, you'll notice something different. Life here follows a rhythm, one that feels slower, more intentional, and deeply rooted in human connection. Let's talk about the daily cadence. Mornings start late and easy. Locals sip café amb led at neighborhood cafes, chat over newspapers, and wander to work without the frantic pace you'd find in London or New York. Come afternoon, the city slows down again. While the traditional siesta is more symbolic than universal these days, many shops and businesses still close from 2 to 5 p.m. Not because people are lazy, but because life isn't all about work here. It's about balance. Dinner? Don't expect to eat before 9 p.m. In fact, you might be the only one in the restaurant at 7. Locals prefer long, late dinners with friends and family where food is savored, not rushed. Think shared plates of tapas, warm conversations under stringlit terraces, and laughter that carries into the night. Much of this lifestyle can be traced to the Mediterranean climate, but also to the Mediterranean mindset. Barcelona is built for outdoor living. Public squares, wide promenades, beachside cafes, they all invite people to gather, talk, eat, and simply be. It's no surprise that some of life's best moments here happen outside. But here's something many visitors don't fully grasp. Barcelona is not just Spanish, it's Catalan. That distinction matters. Catalonia has its own language, traditions, cuisine, and way of life. Locals take deep pride in their heritage, from the red and yellow striped Catalan flag you'll see on balconies to the sardana, a traditional circle dance performed at public festivals. While Spain is a mosaic of regions, Catalonia is one of its most vocal and distinctive pieces. This cultural pride isn't exclusive. It's expressive. It's found in the way locals greet you in Catalan, not to alienate but to invite you into their world. It's in the castells, human towers built during festivals where strangers become a single structure, children climbing to the top, supported by hundreds at the base. Teamwork. It's trust. It's community in its purest form. And music flows through the veins of this city. From the haunting strums of a flamenco guitar in El Raval to the booming drums of a corafoc, a fire run where locals dress as devils and dance through fireworks, Barcelona knows how to celebrate. Even small neighborhood fiestas feel like full-blown cultural spectacles. Streets fill with color, music, and food. Strangers become friends. Every plaza becomes a stage. In Barcelona, celebrating life isn't reserved for holidays. It's a daily ritual. And the best part? You're always welcome to join in. Next, we'll explore the sacred and the spiritual, how religion, language, and identity all intertwine in this unique cultural tapestry. Walk through the streets of Barcelona and you'll find yourself standing at the crossroads of tradition and transformation, where towering cathedrals meet modern values, and where language is more than just communication. It's identity. For centuries, the Catholic Church played a central role in shaping life in Barcelona. From the Gothic grandeur of Barcelona Cathedral to the centuries-old parish churches scattered across its neighborhoods, faith once permeated every layer of daily existence. Baptisms, processions, holidays, and rituals all revolved around the church. But like many European cities, Barcelona has undergone a quiet but powerful shift. In recent decades, the city and much of Spain has seen a dramatic wave of secularization. While religious symbols remain etched into the architecture, the everyday influence of religion has waned. Today, many locals identify as spiritual but non-practicing. Catholicism is still the official religion, but the pace of modern urban life has created more space for personal freedom, progressive ideals, and cultural diversity. That said, religion still lives in the soul of the city, not just in beliefs but in buildings. And no building embodies this more than La Sagrada Familia. It isn't just a church, it's a masterpiece of faith and imagination. Designed by Gaudí, this still unfinished basilica rises like a stone forest, each spire reaching toward heaven. Every column, every curve, every stained glass window tells a story of devotion. Gaudí believed that nature was God's architecture, and in the Sagrada Familia, nature and spirituality fuse in a way no other structure on Earth can replicate. More than 140 years since its cornerstone was laid, this UNESCO World Heritage Site continues to evolve and draws over 4 million visitors each year. Not just tourists, pilgrims of art, history, and soul. But Barcelona's sacred spaces aren't confined to grand basilicas. Wander into the Gothic quarter, and you'll discover the Basilica of Santa Maria del Mar, a towering symbol of working-class devotion built by the hands of fishermen and laborers. Simpler than the Sagrada, but no less moving. Or visit Sant Pau del Camp, one of the oldest churches in the city, a Romanesque relic that predates most of the city's known history. And amidst these stone sanctuaries, Barcelona tells another sacred story, one of language. This is a multilingual society where Catalan and Spanish coexist, sometimes in harmony, sometimes in tension. Walk into a shop and you'll hear Catalan spoken with pride, not as an act of exclusion, but as a living thread of heritage. Public signs, metro stations, street names all appear in both languages. Catalan isn't just a dialect. It's a declaration: we are Catalonia. We are different. And we belong to ourselves. And yet, most people are bilingual. Children grow up learning both languages at school. Films and books are produced in both. And tourists are welcomed in English too, proving that Barcelona is a city that adapts but never forgets who it is. In a world that's moving fast, Barcelona stands as a reminder. You can honor your roots while still embracing the future. Coming up next, we're stepping into the city's visual identity, from the towering works of Gaudí to the enchanting streets of the Gothic Quarter. These are the places that define Barcelona in every postcard and every dream. Barcelona is one of those rare cities where every turn feels like a scene from a movie, a mosaic of art, history, color, and emotion etched into its streets. This isn't just a place to visit, it's a place to experience. Let's begin with the crown jewel, the iconic La Sagrada Familia. It's impossible to talk about Barcelona without mentioning this towering basilica, still under construction more than a century after Antoni Gaudí first laid down its designs. But what makes it truly extraordinary isn't just its unfinished state, it's how it stops you in your tracks. Look up and you'll see spires rising like natural formations, twisting and turning toward the heavens. Step inside, and sunlight pours through kaleidoscopic stained glass, casting colors on white stone like a dream. It's not just a church, it's a living symphony of architecture, spirituality, and imagination. Just a few metro stops away is Park Güell, another of Gaudí's masterpieces. Once envisioned as a luxury housing estate, today it's a public park straight out of a fantasy novel. Mosaic lizards, curved benches, gingerbread-like houses, and sweeping views of the city, every inch of it feels playful, colorful, and alive. It's Gaudí's Barcelona in pure form, whimsical yet deeply symbolic. Not far from there is Casa Batlló, often called the House of Bones. This surreal residence on the elegant Passeig de Gràcia Boulevard seems to breathe, ripple, and flow like a living creature. The balconies resemble masks, the roof is shaped like a dragon's spine, and the windows seem to melt in the sun. It's not architecture, it's storytelling in stone. And then there's the Gothic Quarter, the heart of old Barcelona. Lose yourself in narrow, winding alleys that date back to Roman times. Discover hidden courtyards, secret gardens, and stone walls that have witnessed centuries of revolutions, romances, and reinvention. This is where the city's soul lives, dark, moody, and endlessly fascinating. But Barcelona doesn't just live in the past, it celebrates every moment in the present, especially at Montjuic. This broad hill overlooking the city is a treasure trove of attractions. The Olympic Stadium from the 1992 Games, the Montjuic Castle, stunning gardens, and some of the best sunset views you'll ever witness. At night, the magic fountain of Montjuic puts on a dazzling light and water show, choreographed to music, lighting up the sky in front of the majestic Palau Nacional. It's romantic, family-friendly, and entirely unforgettable. No visit to Barcelona is complete without strolling down La Rambla. Yes, it's touristy. Yes, it's crowded. But there's something magical about this tree-lined promenade, with its flower stalls, street performers, and historic buildings that stretch from Plaça de Catalunya all the way to the waterfront. It's where the energy of the city flows. And finally, when the city heat lingers into the evening, head to the beach. Barceloneta Beach is where locals and visitors gather to sunbathe, skate, play volleyball, or enjoy seafood by the sea. It's not just sand and waves, it's lifestyle in motion. Want a quieter, more cinematic view? Climb to the Bunkers del Carmel, an old Civil War bunker turned panoramic viewpoint. It's where locals gather at sunset, wine bottles in hand, guitars strumming, and the entire cityscape glittering below. No ticket. No filter, just pure Barcelona. Every landmark here tells a different story of art, rebellion, celebration, and resilience. Together, they make up a city that's not meant to be rushed, but slowly, intimately explored. Coming up next, let's peel back the layers and go off the beaten path to discover the hidden gems and secrets even many locals overlook. Barcelona may be famous for its postcard-perfect sights, but the city's real magic lies in the hidden corners, the stories whispered in alleyways, rooftops, and time-worn shops that never make it to travel brochures. Let's start with one of the city's most jaw-dropping secrets, Bunkers del Carmel. Perched high above the city in the Carmel neighborhood, these bunkers were built during the Spanish Civil War as anti-aircraft defenses. Today, they offer one of the most spectacular panoramic views of Barcelona, without a single ticket booth or souvenir stand in sight. As the sun dips below the horizon, locals come here with bottles of cava, guitars, and snacks. It's raw, unfiltered Barcelona, where the skyline glows, the sea twinkles, and time seems to pause. Most tourists don't even know it exists, and that's just how locals like it. From the heights of Carmel, we descend into the shadows of El Born, a neighborhood that wears its history on cobblestones. Its medieval alleys weave between artisan workshops, bohemian cafes, and bars tucked into 13th century walls. But the real secret lies beneath your feet. Inside the El Born Centre de Cultura y Memoria, you'll find an underground city, literally. Excavations have revealed the ruins of 18th century Barcelona, buried beneath the modern world. Walking through these preserved streets with their stone houses, workshops, and wells feels like traveling through a ghost town frozen in time. It's a humbling reminder. The city you see above ground is only half the story. Now for something sweet, both literally and culturally. Tucked in the heart of the city is Forn Mistral, a bakery that has been serving locals since the mid-19th century. That's over 150 years of kneading, rising, and baking the same traditional Catalan recipes. Their ensamadas, delicate spirals of pastry dusted with powdered sugar, are legendary among locals, but virtually unknown to most tourists rushing toward the big attractions. Here, it's not about flashy decor or Instagrammable coffee cups, it's about heritage, taste, and consistency. Kind of place where generations return, grandparents with grandchildren, to buy the same bread their ancestors once did. And there are more secrets hidden throughout Barcelona. Ancient Roman columns tucked behind apartment buildings, time-worn bookstores where poets once gathered, and rooftop bars hidden behind unmarked doors. This is a city that rewards the curious. The ones who stray from the main streets, look up, or simply take a moment to ask a local, "Where would you go?" Coming up next, we'll explore the natural beauty that surrounds and elevates this urban paradise. From its beaches to its hills and everything in between. Barcelona may be a city of culture and architecture, but step outside the bustling plazas and you'll find a landscape just as breathtaking. This is a city wrapped in natural beauty, where mountains, parks, and beaches flow together to create an urban oasis unlike any other in Europe. Let's start with the sea, because in Barcelona, the beach isn't just a summer escape. It's a way of life. Barceloneta Beach is the most iconic. Just a short stroll from the city center, it's lined with palm trees, seafood restaurants, and golden sand. But if you're looking to chill like a local, head further down the coast. Bogatel Beach offers a quieter, cleaner vibe with fewer tourists and more space to stretch out. Cata Beach, a bit outside the city in El Masnou, has soft white sands and clear waters that feel more like the Mediterranean you've always imagined. Mornings are for joggers and yogis. Afternoons are for sunbathers and swimmers. And evenings? They're for beachside dinners, volleyball matches, and that unmistakable orange glow over the sea. But don't be fooled, Barcelona isn't all coastline. Green spaces are everywhere, each with its own character and charm. Take a walk through Parc de la Ciutadella, the city's answer to Central Park. Here you'll find lush lawns, romantic fountains, paddle boats, and even a small zoo. Locals come here to picnic under ancient trees, sketch the statues, or play guitar in the shade of palm trees. It's Barcelona at its most relaxed, alive, but never rushed. For something higher and more dramatic, there's Tibidabo Mountain. 512 meters, it's the highest point overlooking the city. The top stands a neo-Gothic church and an old-school amusement park that seems to float above the clouds. The view from up here is one of the best in all of Catalonia, sprawling cityscapes, blue sea, and on clear days the snow-capped Pyrenees in the distance. The funicular ride up is an experience in itself, rising slowly as Barcelona unfolds below you like a living map. And when you're ready to escape the city altogether, Barcelona rewards you with easy day trips to nature's greatest hits. Just an hour northwest is Montserrat, a mystical mountain range with jagged peaks, a 1,000-year-old monastery, and legends whispered through the wind. Hike to the top for views that feel holy whether you're religious or not. To the northeast lies the coastal heaven of Costa Brava. Picture rugged cliffs, hidden coves, turquoise waters, and sleepy fishing villages where time slows to a whisper. It's the perfect antidote to the buzz of the city, wild, windswept, and impossibly beautiful. In Barcelona, nature isn't separate from city life, it's woven into the rhythm of daily existence. Coming up next, we'll slow things down even more to follow a typical day in the life of someone who calls this place home. Because to truly understand a city, you don't just visit it, you live it. Truly understand Barcelona, you have to do more than see its sights. You have to feel its rhythm, and there's no better way than by living a day as the locals do. Morning begins slowly here. Unlike the rush of commuters flooding into London's Tube or New York's subway by 7 a.m. sharp, Barcelona's early hours unfold gently. The city stretches awake around 8 or 9. Locals head to their neighborhood cafes, not for a quick caffeine hit, but for a café ambulette, a smooth, milky coffee, and perhaps a flaky croissant or toasted bread with tomato, garlic, and olive oil. It's unhurried, communal, and often enjoyed while reading the paper or chatting with a neighbor. From there, the workday begins, but even office life here follows a Mediterranean beat. There's a long midday break, especially in smaller businesses and shops. Between 2 p.m. and 5 p.m., many close, not necessarily for a nap, but for lunch, family, or rest. Compare that with the non-stop grind of New York, and you'll start to understand why life in Barcelona feels more balanced. Afternoons are for markets. Locals don't stockpile frozen dinners, they shop fresh and they shop often. The Mercat de Sant Antoni or La Boqueria aren't just for tourists. They're part of everyday life. Vendors know regulars by name. Shoppers linger at stalls for fresh seafood, seasonal fruit, and aged manchego cheese. It's less transaction, more ritual, a sensory celebration of food and human connection. And as the sun dips low, the real magic begins. Evenings in Barcelona are sacred. The city comes alive with tapas bars, terraces, and laughter spilling into the streets. Dinner starts around 9 p.m. Yes, you heard that right, 9. Locals wander from bar to bar in a kind of delicious dance called a tapeo, ordering small plates at each stop. Grilled prawns, spicy potatoes, Iberian ham, marinated anchovies. With each dish comes conversation, clinking glasses, and maybe even spontaneous flamenco if the night calls for it. But this isn't just about food, it's about togetherness. Family life is tight-knit and central. It's common to see 3 generations at the same table, grandparents chatting with teenagers, toddlers playing with olive pits, parents pouring wine. There's a warmth in how Catalans gather. Sundays are often reserved for long family meals. And even in a city so rich in nightlife, it never loses its deep sense of belonging. Thinking of nightlife, yes, Barcelona knows how to party, but not in the rushed, high-stress way of New York clubs or London pubs. Here, the night stretches into the early morning with laughter echoing in plazas, music wafting from beach bars, and a general understanding that there's no need to hurry when you're exactly where you want to be. Compare this to the hurried routines of Western cities, the packed schedules, takeaway meals, 12-hour workdays, and Barcelona feels like another planet. A better one. Here, people don't just work to live. They live to live. Next, let's take a deeper look into what fuels this lifestyle, how Barcelona's economy, job market, and living standards create a life many Americans and Brits now dream of. Barcelona isn't just beautiful, it works. And that's exactly why so many travelers from the US and UK don't just visit. They stay. Let's start with the pillars of Barcelona's economy. Unsurprisingly, tourism plays a major role. Millions come every year to marvel at Gaudí's creations, sunbathe on Mediterranean beaches, or lose themselves in the charm of the Gothic Quarter. It's a key source of income for hotels, restaurants, transport, and small businesses, but it's also a double-edged sword. While tourism brings life and money, it also brings pressure, something we'll explore later. Beyond tourism, Barcelona has reinvented itself as a European tech hub. Over the past decade, it's become home to hundreds of startups, innovation labs, and creative agencies. The city's vibrant atmosphere, world-class internet infrastructure, and high quality of life have attracted a new wave of entrepreneurs, particularly in software development, fintech, digital marketing, and design. This has made remote work and freelancing not just possible, but popular. Barcelona is now considered one of Europe's best cities for digital nomads. Shared workspaces like Mob and One Co-work offer more than fast Wi-Fi, they offer a sense of community. You'll find expats from San Francisco collaborating with designers from Berlin, all over a café court d'oeil. And what about the job market for expats? Depends. For English speakers, opportunities exist, especially in tech, education, tourism, and international business. However, knowing Catalan or Spanish is a major advantage, especially in more traditional industries. That said, Barcelona's international companies are increasingly global in mindset, and more jobs now list English as the working language. Now let's talk numbers, income versus cost of living. The average monthly salary in Barcelona is significantly lower than in cities like London or New York. But so is the cost of living. You can comfortably rent a one-bedroom apartment in the city center for about 1,000 euros. Utilities, groceries, and healthcare are more affordable. Public transport is efficient and cheap. And thanks to the Mediterranean diet, eating well doesn't require a luxury budget. Many expats report that although they earn less in Barcelona, they feel richer in time, lifestyle, and balance. Here, long lunches, evening walks, and social gatherings are not weekend luxuries, they're daily norms. And that, for many, is priceless. Coming up next, we'll break it down even further. What exactly does it cost to live, travel, and eat in Barcelona compared to the US or UK? You might be surprised. What if we told you that in Barcelona, $100 could buy you a full day of food, transport, culture, and even a bit of indulgence? Compared to cities like New York or London, Barcelona delivers more for less, especially when it comes to lifestyle experiences. Let's break it down. What can £180 get you in a day? Start your day with a café ambulette and a pastry at a local bakery, around €3. Hop on the metro using a 10-trip card, just over €1.50 per ride. Head to a museum like the Museu Picasso or Eminesci. Many offer entry for under €15, and some are even free on Sundays. Lunch? A full 3-course menu del dia at a traditional local restaurant will cost you around €12 to €15, and that includes wine. Add in an afternoon snack, a gelato, and a few more metro rides, and you're still well under €50. Spend the evening with tapas and a glass of vermouth, followed by a live music show or flamenco performance, and you'll likely wrap up the day just shy of €90, €100, depending on your pace. Try doing all of that in London or New York, it's simply not possible without doubling the cost. Rent, groceries, and transport. A snapshot. Let's talk housing. A one-bedroom apartment in the city center, around €1,000 a month outside the center, that drops to €700, €800 a month. In contrast, Londoners and New Yorkers routinely pay double or even triple for the same kind of accommodation, often with less sun and charm. Groceries for one person cost about €200, €250 a month, with fresh produce, bread, and olive oil noticeably cheaper than in the UK or US. Public transport is reliable, clean, and affordable. A monthly Metro bus pass costs around €40, less than half the price of similar options in New York City or London. For travelers, budget to luxury. Whether you're backpacking or balling out, Barcelona has something for every wallet. Budget travelers, hostels or shared Airbnbs from €25, €50 night. Street food, bakeries, and menu del dia equals €20 day on food-free walking tours, beach days, and public museums. Mid-range travelers, boutique hotels or private Airbnbs from €80, €150 night. Dinner at a great tapas bar, €25, €35 person. Entry to Gaudí landmarks, flamenco shows, or rooftop bars. Luxury travelers, 4 or 5-star hotels and resorts from €200, €500 night. Private wine tastings, chef-curated dinners, and rooftop lounges. Chauffeur service, helicopter tours, and front-row festival seating. But no matter your budget, Barcelona offers exceptional value. It's the kind of city where even a simple baguette and park bench can feel like a luxury. And remember, value here isn't just measured in euros. It's measured in lifestyle, beauty, and the sheer joy of living well without breaking the bank. Coming up next, let's take a closer look at the foundations that support this lifestyle: Barcelona's education, healthcare, and modern infrastructure. Barcelona's beauty isn't just skin-deep. Beyond the architecture, beaches, and street culture lies a city with solid foundations. Whether you're planning a short visit or considering a long-term stay, understanding its education, healthcare, and infrastructure shows why this city ranks so high in global livability. World-class education and study abroad opportunities. Barcelona is a city of knowledge, and not just historical. It's home to some of the most respected institutions in Europe, including the University of Barcelona and Pompeu Fabra University, both ranked highly for research, innovation, and international collaboration. These public universities offer programs in Catalan, Spanish, and increasingly in English, especially in business, engineering, and international studies. Barcelona is also a study abroad hotspot, particularly for students from the US and UK. Thanks to exchange programs and international partnerships, hundreds of foreign students flock here each semester, drawn by the academic quality, affordable tuition, and, of course, the lifestyle. Studying here doesn't just open books, it opens minds. And it's not just for the young. Language schools, art academies, and design institutes thrive here, making lifelong learning a very real part of the city's DNA. A healthcare system that puts people first. One of the most reassuring aspects of life in Barcelona? Healthcare. Spain's universal healthcare system consistently ranks among the best in the world. Residents, including legal expats, have access to free or low-cost medical care, with public hospitals offering excellent service and short wait times. For travelers, private clinics abound. A basic doctor's visit costs around €50, €80, and many clinics cater specifically to English-speaking tourists. Pharmacies are everywhere and incredibly accessible, with trained pharmacists who can often provide guidance without the need for an appointment. The overall approach to health is also refreshingly holistic. A Mediterranean diet, walkable streets, fresh air, and social living all play a part in the city's wellness culture. Smart infrastructure and seamless connectivity. Barcelona was designed to be lived in, not driven through. Its public transportation system is one of Europe's best, clean, fast, and surprisingly affordable. The metro has over 150 stations, reaching every corner of the city. Trams, buses, and commuter trains link seamlessly, whether you're heading to the beach or a nearby mountain village. And then there's the urban planning. Wide boulevards, pedestrian zones, and leafy plazas encourage walking and biking. The Eixample district, with its famous grid layout and chamfered corners, was an early innovation in breathable city design, allowing air, light, and people to move freely. It's not just pretty, it's practical. Barcelona is also investing heavily in sustainability. Green zones, electric buses, and car-free superblocks are transforming how people interact with the city, putting humans before traffic. Need to stay connected? The city boasts fast, reliable Wi-Fi, and many public areas, cafes, and even parks offer free internet access, making it a favorite for digital nomads and remote workers. In short, Barcelona isn't just designed for tourists, it's designed for life. And in the next chapter, we'll dive into one of the city's greatest passions, food. From sizzling tapas to sweet churros, prepare your taste buds for a flavorful journey through Barcelona's vibrant local food culture. Barcelona doesn't just feed you, it seduces you one bite at a time. This city's food culture is about flavor, rhythm, and ritual. From the clinking of wine glasses on a sunlit terrace to the smoky aroma of sizzling seafood, every meal here tells a story. And the best part? You don't need a 5-star reservation to experience it. Let's start with the stars of the table, the dishes you absolutely can't miss. Tapas are the heart of it all. These small, shareable plates are more than food, they're a way of life. Whether it's patatas bravas, pimientos de padrón, or melt-in-your-mouth jamón ibérico, tapas invite conversation. You eat slowly with friends, wine, and laughter. It's not about filling your stomach. It's about filling the evening. Then there's paella, but here's the thing. In Barcelona, the traditional rice dish comes with a local twist. Try paella de mariscos, packed with fresh Mediterranean shellfish, or fideuà, a Catalan version made with short noodles instead of rice. It's rich, smoky, and best enjoyed by the beach with a cold glass of white wine. For dessert lovers, 2 words, churros and Catalan crema. Churros here are often served with thick, molten chocolate for dipping, especially at breakfast or during festive nights out. And crema catalana? It's like creme brulee's rustic cousin, infused with citrus and cinnamon, with a perfectly caramelized top that cracks under your spoon. Simple, elegant, unforgettable. But Barcelona's food scene isn't just about restaurants, it's about where the ingredients come from. Step into the Boqueria market, and you'll be hit with a kaleidoscope of colors, smells, and sounds. Vibrant fruit stands, hanging hams, oysters shucked to order, and rows of cheeses aged to perfection. While it's a tourist draw, it's also a living, breathing part of local life, where chefs shop in the morning and neighbors catch up over espresso shots. Looking for something quieter and more local? Try Mercat de Sant Antoni or Mercat de la Concepció, smaller, less crowded, but equally packed with authenticity. Here you can grab a freshly baked pastry, a cone of fried calamari, or simply sit and people watch among locals doing their weekly shopping. And then there's the wine culture. Spain is a wine lover's paradise, and Barcelona is no exception. From crisp Catalan cavas to deep reds from the nearby Priorat region, you'll find something for every palate, often at prices that make London or New York feel downright outrageous. Many tapas bars will even serve a house wine that's better than most bottles you'd find abroad. Dinner customs here might surprise you. Locals eat late, really late. 9 p.m. is normal, and many restaurants stay open well past midnight. Meals are slow, social, and meant to be savored, not rushed. It's a reminder that food isn't just fuel. It's culture, connection, and joy. In Barcelona, eating is never just eating. It's an experience, a daily celebration. And speaking of celebrations, up next, we'll dive into the heartbeat of Catalan culture, the events and festivals that light up the city all year round. Barcelona is more than a city, it's a stage. And throughout the year, it comes alive with music, dance, fire, color, and passion. Whether you're wandering the streets in spring or basking under summer skies, there's a celebration around every corner. Let's begin with the biggest, La Merce Festival. Held every September, La Merce is Barcelona's official city festival, and it's like nothing you've ever experienced. For 4 days, the city transforms into one giant open-air performance. Streets flood with parades, fireworks, light shows, concerts, and the spectacular Correfoc, where devils and dragons dance through fire and sparks, igniting the night with controlled chaos. And then there's the awe-inspiring castels, human towers built in the middle of the street by teams who climb, balance, and trust each other completely. Watching a child climb to the top, raise a hand, and stand tall above a crowd is enough to give anyone goosebumps. It's not a stunt, it's a symbol of unity, tradition, and courage. In springtime, the city softens for something more poetic, Sant Jordi Day. Celebrated on April 23rd, it's often called the Catalan Valentine's Day. But instead of chocolate hearts, people exchange books and roses. Streets fill with flower stalls and book stands, authors sign copies, and locals share their love of words and romance. It's a day when literature meets love, and Barcelona feels like a living storybook. Festivals here aren't just events, they're part of the city's heartbeat. Almost every neighborhood has its own festa major, complete with decorations, street dinners, live music, and traditional dances like the sardana, a circle dance that's less about skill and more about belonging. You don't need to be a dancer. You just need to join hands and feel the rhythm. And then there's flamenco, the soul of Spanish music and movement. While its roots are in Andalusia, Barcelona has carved out its own flamenco identity, with passionate performances held in tablaos, theaters, and even public squares. The guitar strums, the heels pound, the singer wails, and something ancient stirs in the air. It's raw. It's emotional. It's unforgettable. Beyond the classics, Barcelona also hosts modern cultural festivals, film screenings under the stars, indie music festivals like Primavera Sound, cutting-edge design expos, and techno parties that run till sunrise. Each season paints the city in a different light. Spring blooms with books and roses. Summer pulses with beach parties, outdoor cinema, and long nights. Autumn glows with tradition and fire during La Merce. Winter brings markets, lights, and a surprisingly mild Mediterranean Christmas. No matter when you visit, Barcelona gives you something to celebrate. next, we'll cover everything you need to know as a traveler, from local etiquette to safety and a few golden rules to make your experience smooth and respectful. Barcelona is a dream destination, but like any world-class city, it comes with its own rules, rhythms, and realities. Whether you're here for a weekend or a month, knowing how to navigate respectfully and smartly can make the difference between a good trip and a great one. Let's talk safety and the pickpocketing myth. That's not a myth. Barcelona is generally very safe, especially when it comes to violent crime. Walking alone at night in busy areas is common and typically not a concern. But ask any seasoned traveler or local and they'll tell you, pickpocketing is real. Popular spots like La Rambla, Sagrada Familia, metro stations, and even the beach can attract skilled thieves. They're subtle, quick, and often work in pairs. Here's how to stay safe. Wear a crossbody bag and keep it in front of you. Avoid keeping your phone or wallet in back pockets. Be extra cautious in crowded metro trains and tourist hotspots. If someone creates a scene, a distraction, a spill, or an accidental bump, check your pockets immediately. The good news? With a bit of awareness, you can easily avoid most issues and enjoy the city worry-free. Local etiquette. Respecting the culture. Catalans are warm and welcoming, but they deeply value politeness and cultural respect. When entering a shop or restaurant, a simple hola goes a long way. Say gracies, and you'll often be met with a smile. It's not just about manners, it's about acknowledging the person in front of you. Tipping isn't as expected as it is in the US, but it's appreciated. Rounding up the bill or leaving 5–10% for good service is standard. Dining here is slow and social. Don't expect the waiter to bring the bill immediately, that would be considered rushing you. When you're ready to pay, just make eye contact or say, "La cuenta por favor." Dress modestly when visiting churches, even if it's hot out. While Barcelona is progressive, respecting sacred spaces is always appreciated. And here's an important one. Catalonia is not just Spain. Avoid referring to locals as Spanish without knowing their views. Many identify as Catalan first. You don't need to take sides, just listen, be curious, and respect the local pride. Tourist traps and how to blend in. Some traps are obvious. Overpriced restaurants along La Rambla, souvenir shops selling mass-produced authentic goods, or fake flamenco shows targeted at tourists. Instead, eat where locals eat in Gracia, Poblaci, or El Born. Avoid restaurants with laminated photo menus and hosts pressuring you to enter. Don't overplan. Some of the best moments in Barcelona happen spontaneously, stumbling upon a hidden courtyard, hearing live music in a square, or finding the perfect vermouth bar tucked behind a quiet alley. Want to blend in? Dress smart casual. Locals favor clean, effortless style. Carry yourself with confidence, not confusion. Even just trying a few words in Catalan or Spanish can turn you from tourist to guest. Barcelona isn't just a place to see. It's a place to respect, to learn from, and to truly connect with. And speaking of connection, next, we'll look at the challenges locals face behind the beauty. The social, economic, and environmental issues that are shaping the future of this beloved city. Behind Barcelona's postcard beauty lies a city wrestling with real challenges. For every sunset view from a rooftop bar, there's a local voice growing more urgent, asking, who is this city really for? Let's start with the most visible issue, over-tourism. Barcelona welcomes over 30 million visitors a year, nearly 20 times the local population. And while tourism fuels the economy, it also strains the soul of the city. Neighborhoods like El Gaudí, El Born, and Barceloneta, once quiet residential communities, have become overrun with short-term rentals, souvenir shops, and foot traffic that never sleeps. Local residents are often pushed to the margins, unable to afford rent or live in peace as their streets turn into 24/7 attractions. In response, the city has implemented tourism regulations, including caps on new hotel licenses and stricter rules on platforms like Airbnb. But the tension remains. Many Catalans now differentiate between tourists and travelers, the latter being those who stay longer, learn the language, respect the culture, and give more than they take. Gentrification and housing pressure over tourism has fueled another issue: gentrification. As foreign investors scoop up apartments and convert them into vacation rentals, housing prices have soared. Young locals, especially those starting families, are increasingly priced out of their own neighborhoods. In areas like Poblacic and San Antonio, traditional markets are being replaced by trendy cafes. The old, the working class, the deeply rooted are being quietly pushed aside for modern minimalism and Instagram-ready storefronts. This has sparked activism, rent control proposals, and local protests. You'll see signs on balconies: Barcelona no está en venta, Barcelona is not for sale. Climate concerns and local activism. Then there's the environment. Barcelona has a Mediterranean climate, but climate change is making summers hotter and drier than ever before. Rising sea levels pose a threat to the city's beloved beaches and port, while increased energy demands pressure an already complex infrastructure. But Barcelona isn't standing still. The city is investing in green zones, bike infrastructure, electric buses, and car-free superblocks that return entire neighborhoods to pedestrians. Local farmers markets are being supported, rooftop gardens are sprouting, and public awareness campaigns are growing. Environmental groups, neighborhood associations, and youth activists are taking the lead, organizing cleanups, strikes, and climate marches that echo through Placa de Catalunya and beyond. Catalans are known for their resilience and pride, and it shows here in how they protect not just their homes but the heart of their city. Because in the end, Barcelona isn't just a backdrop. It's a living, breathing community, one that wants to welcome the world but not lose itself in the process. Next, we're clearing up the biggest myths and surprising facts about Barcelona, the things most guidebooks leave out and even locals love to debate. Barcelona wears many masks: party capital, architectural masterpiece, Mediterranean escape. But look a little closer and you'll find that not everything is as it seems. Let's start with the most common myth. Do people really party all night every night? Short answer: not exactly. Yes, Barcelona has a legendary nightlife scene, beach clubs, rooftop bars, and electronic music festivals that go until sunrise. But the image of locals partying 24/7? That's largely fueled by tourism. Most Barcelonans have jobs, families, and responsibilities. The wild weeknight ravers are more often fueled by visitors than locals. That said, social life is deeply important here. Evenings stretch long into the night, dinners at 9 p.m., drinks at 11, perhaps dancing by midnight, but it's more about enjoying life than escaping it. It's a culture of connection, not chaos. The truth behind the Sagrada Familia. Here's a question nearly every visitor asks: why is La Sagrada Familia still unfinished? Construction began in 1882, and over 140 years later, the basilica remains a work in progress. But that's not because Barcelona forgot. It's because Gaudí's vision was so complex, so ambitious, that it outlived him and defied conventional architecture. He left behind detailed models, not blueprints, and after his death in 1926, work slowed drastically, further interrupted by the Spanish Civil War and funding challenges. In recent decades, technology has helped accelerate the process, but builders are still committed to crafting it by hand, stone by stone, just as Gaudí intended. The goal now? Completion by 2033, the centenary of Gaudí's death. But even if it never finishes, Sagrada Familia remains a living monument to imagination, faith, and patience. Beyond Gaudí and beaches, what most visitors miss, most travelers come for Gaudí's masterpieces and sun-kissed beaches, and while those are stunning, they barely scratch the surface. Did you know? Barcelona has ancient Roman ruins beneath its streets? There are bunkers with panoramic views locals guard like secrets? Or that Catalonia once declared independence from Spain, sparking a global debate? Visitors often miss the working-class neighborhoods like Poblenou, now a blend of post-industrial grit and digital creativity. Or Horta, where 18th-century labyrinth gardens still twist and turn beneath the hills. Even some of the best food is found not in Michelin-star restaurants, but in tiny corner bodegas where abuelas serve up family recipes passed down for generations. Barcelona is not a theme park. It's not just Gaudí's playground or a party stop between Ibiza and Madrid. It's a living, evolving city layered with history, culture, contradiction, and resilience. And if you're willing to go just a little deeper, it will show you sides of itself that few ever see. Coming up next, everything you need to know before you visit, from transportation to SIM cards, currency tips, and how to move around like a local. Currency planning a trip to Barcelona? Here's your insider guide to moving through the city like a local, smarter, smoother, and stress-free. Getting around, metro, bikes, and walking. Barcelona was built to be explored. Wide boulevards, scenic plazas, and a compact layout make it one of the most walkable cities in Europe. But when your legs need a break, you've got options. The metro, the Barcelona Metro, is your best friend. With 8 lines and over 150 stations, you can reach almost every major attraction in under 20 minutes. Trains run every few minutes, and stations are clearly marked and multilingual. For tourists, grab the T-Casual card, 10 rides for about €12. It's valid across metro, bus, tram, and train lines within the city. Biking. Barcelona is a bike-friendly city with over 200 kilometers of cycling paths. You'll find bike lanes on major roads and along the beach promenade. Apps like Donkey Republic or Ride Movie let you rent bikes easily. Prefer guided rides? Join a bike tour through the Gothic Quarter or along the waterfront. Walking. Some of the best experiences come from simply getting lost in the winding alleys of El Born or the open-air beauty of Passeig de Sant-Joan. Many neighborhoods are designed for pedestrians first, safe, scenic, and buzzing with life. SIM cards and staying connected. Yes, Barcelona has great Wi-Fi in cafes, hotels, and even public parks. But for reliable on-the-go data, a local SIM card is the way to go. You can buy prepaid SIMs at the airport, convenience stores, or mobile shops. Popular carriers include Orange, Vodafone, Movistar. Yoigo plans usually start around €10, €20 for several gigabytes of data, with some offering international calling and roaming within the EU. Pro tip: bring your passport, as ID is required to activate SIMs in Spain. Or if you have an eSIM-compatible phone, download and activate a plan instantly via providers like Airlo or Holafly. No physical card needed. Currency tips and avoiding tourist traps. Barcelona uses the euro. Credit and debit cards are widely accepted, including contactless payments, though small cash bills come in handy for markets, taxis, and smaller bars. To get the best exchange rate, avoid airport kiosks. Use ATMs from official banks, not the flashy standalone ones that charge high fees. Use a travel-friendly bank card that offers competitive currency exchange rates with low or no fees. Beware of tourist pricing, especially near La Rambla and the Sagrada Familia. Coffee should never cost €5. Always check the menu before ordering, and when possible, eat a few blocks away from major attractions. Prices drop and authenticity soars. And if someone on the street offers you tickets, bracelets, or roses, politely decline. These are common tourist hustles. Stick to official vendors and licensed guides. Barcelona is incredibly welcoming, but being informed helps you blend in, avoid the traps, and experience the city like it was meant to be experienced. And if you're thinking of staying longer than just a vacation, well, that brings us to our next chapter: what it takes to relocate here and make Barcelona your new home. Barcelona isn't just a vacation dream. For many, it's becoming a long-term lifestyle choice. With sunshine, affordable living, culture, and world-class infrastructure, more and more Americans and Brits are asking, can I actually live and work here? The answer? Yes, and it's more possible now than ever. Can you work remotely from Barcelona as a US-UK citizen? Absolutely. Spain recently introduced its digital nomad visa, allowing non-EU citizens, including those from the US and UK, to live in Spain while working remotely for foreign companies. You must prove you work remotely or freelance for non-Spanish clients, show a minimum income, obtain private health insurance, pass a criminal background check. The visa is initially valid for 1 year, with extensions available. It's tailor-made for remote workers, entrepreneurs, and digital creatives, and Barcelona, with its co-working spaces, fast Wi-Fi, and international scene, is the perfect match. course, the standard non-lucrative visa is also an option for retirees or those not working, and student visas remain a path for younger expats. Language barriers, bureaucracy, and where to live. Barcelona is a bilingual city with Catalan and Spanish spoken everywhere. English is widely understood, especially in younger and international circles. But for day-to-day life, reading paperwork, visiting a doctor, or dealing with public services, learning basic Spanish is a big plus. Pro tip: Catalans appreciate it even more when you try a few Catalan phrases. It's a show of respect and often opens doors in the community. Now, where should you live? Example: central, elegant, safe, with modern apartments and grid-style streets. Great for professionals. Gracia, bohemian, artistic, and community-driven. Think indie cafes, art studios, and leafy plazas. Poblenou, trendy with a mix of beach vibes and tech startups. Ideal for digital nomads and young families. San Antonio, hip, walkable, and less touristy with one of the best local food scenes in the city. Rent varies, but expect to pay between €800 €1,500 a month depending on location and size. Pros and cons of expat life in Barcelona. Pros: high quality of life at a lower cost, beautiful weather and outdoor living, vibrant international community, efficient public transport and healthcare, proximity to Europe, Africa, and the Mediterranean. Cons: bureaucracy can be slow and confusing, job market is competitive and favors locals unless your remote, language barriers may limit integration if you don't learn Spanish, tourist crowds in summer can be overwhelming. Still, many expats say the benefits far outweigh the challenges. Life in Barcelona isn't perfect, but it offers something deeply rare: the chance to live well, live fully, and live with joy. As one expat put it, "In London, I live to work. In Barcelona, I work just enough to live." And that mindset changes everything. Next, let's wrap up with some final reflections, emotional takeaways, and a call to action that might just have you booking your flight. Some places you visit. Barcelona. It visits you back and stays with you long after you've gone. Maybe it's the way the light hits the stone in the Gothic quarter at golden hour. Or how a single bite of fresh seafood by the sea can feel like poetry. Maybe it's Gaudí's surreal towers, the spontaneous music in a plaza, or the quiet kindness of a stranger offering directions in Catalan. But whatever it is, Barcelona leaves an imprint not just on your camera roll but on your soul. It's a city that asks you to slow down, to savor, to stay curious. It invites you to listen to its rhythms, to its history, to its contradictions. It doesn't demand your attention. It earns it. And so we leave you with one simple question: would you just travel here? Or would you choose to stay? Would you swap the stress for the sea breeze? The 9 to 5 for a 9 p.m. dinner with friends? Would you let Barcelona change you? Whether you're planning a short visit, a study abroad semester, or a life reboot under the Mediterranean sun, this city has something to offer everyone. So tell us, what was your favorite part of Barcelona? Was it the architecture, the food, the festivals, or something more you can't quite put into words? Let us know in the comments below. And if you found yourself dreaming during this journey, give it a like, hit subscribe, and share it with a fellow traveler. 'Cause every week we take you somewhere new. No ticket, no packing, just the world one story at a time. Gracias. And we'll see you in the next adventure.